boot, then his right. He needn't have worried, though. An Afghan carpet, perhaps by design, conceals blood just as well as it conceals spilled tea. The city, a halo around the palace, waited on an announcement from the president to explain the sight of Sukhoi jets and the sound of gunfire. American diplomats stationed in Kabul, some still fuzzy from cocktails, wondered what bizarre conflict had befallen their peaceful and exotic post. One silver-haired American woman, teetering from the effects of a stubby cigarette she'd purchased off a hippie couple, tried to touch the paper airplanes that soared over her head. She applauded the flash of fireworks, as Americans do. Never, that little girl in the palace knew with brutal certainty, had any child in history been more alone. On that night, giants were felled. A dizzying void swallowed all that had once been. But the trembling little girl could not succumb. She would be brave because her father had once told her that the world lived within her, that her bones were made of mountains, that rivers coursed through her veins, that her heartbeat was the sound of 1,000 pounding hooves, that her eyes glittered with the light of a starry sky. I am that girl, and this is my story. Part 1. April 1978. Chapter 1. A string of vehicles pulled into the circular palace driveway, disappearing one by one as their engines and headlights cut off. I watched silhouettes emerge and approach the main entrance of the palace. "Nilab, they're here," I whispered. "How many cars? 15, maybe? It's too dark out, hard to tell. We're going to have to go soon," Nilab warned. Mother must have seen the cars approach, too. Her voice echoed from down the hall. The palace buzzed as it did on those special occasions when its grandest rooms filled with the most important guests. "Sitara, where are you?" I could not hide my disappointment. I looked at Nilab, sitting on the floor with her knees drawn to her chest. The lamplight cast a yellow glow on her cheeks. "It's a weekend," I groaned. "They want all the little children in bed when they open that box downstairs," Nilab said, repeating what her mother had told her. "You might as well go to her before she finds you." But surrender had never been my style. "What about you? I bet your mother is looking for you, too." Nilab shook her head. "No way. I'm a young woman now. The rules have changed." This amused me. "You're barely a full year older than me, and you'd have to wear heels to look me in the eye. Go ahead and tease, but if I wanted to, I could throw on one of my dresses and join them downstairs and no one would say a thing," Nilab declared, arms folded across her chest. I loved her too much to point out to her how flat it still was. "Is Nilab with you?" Mother asked, as if she'd forgotten that Nilab and I had been inseparable since I had learned to walk. "It's past time for her to turn in, too." Nilab avoided my eyes then. She hated to be wrong almost as much as I relished being right. My best friend and I had ducked into the presidential library so I could thumb through a text I'd discovered last week. The Book of Fixed Stars was written 1,000 years ago by an astronomer named Al-Sufi. Like me, he'd been fascinated by constellations, stories written in a pen of light. I'd drawn the velvet curtain so I could match the constellations on the page with the stars of the night sky. One by one, I found them and marveled that time hadn't stolen a single flickering gem. "I'm here, Madar," I called out, glancing at the pages splayed before me. Al-Sufi had sketched the serpentine tale of Draco, a fork-tongued dragon circling Ursa Minor. I had read, but had yet to confirm through observation, that it was visible all year long from Kabul's latitude. Our months were named after constellations, and soon it would be the month of Sar, or Taurus. I drew lines between stars and saw the bull's sword-like horns piercing the sky. The hairs on the back of my neck prickled to picture the giant beast leaping down from the heavens and galloping on this land. Mother poked her head between the French doors of the library. "There you are. It's getting late, girls," she chided gently. "Sitara, I need you to stay with your brother so I can go downstairs. They're serving dinner soon, and it won't look right if I'm not at your father's side."